Welcome guys back to the channel. The owner of this Mazda 6 has been told that his car needs a new turbo by a local garage, and then he went to the Mazda dealership, who they told him later that it needs 4 new injectors. So now let me switch the camera and show you what it really needs. So have a look how clean inside the cylinder head can this 2.2 Skyactiv be. I must say that the car has 40-ish something thousand miles on the clock. I removed the valve cover. I didn't touch it, didn't clean it. It was as clean as you can see, guys. The camshaft is not worn, but it came because the fault code of the P2262 is stored. And as I said in the intro, the local garage suggested or recommended replacing the turbo. Then the Mazda dealership said it needs 4 new injectors, which is complete nonsense. But I can understand why the local garage said the turbo, because it says the description of the fault code is that there is a problem, mechanical problem with the turbo. However, what is usually wrong is that sensor on the pipe blocked underneath. I've already checked the live data. In my opinion, the pipe is not blocked, or like very little blocked, because the numbers, the pressure numbers, they raise and then climb back down very quickly, so they are responsive, meaning that the pipe is not blocked. However, the sensor is giving like a little bit less values to the ECU. That's why it's triggering the fault code. But anyways, we are going to test the pipe, and if it is blocked, we're going to make sure that it is cleaned. What else I wanted to say? He is going to have a new drive belt installed. There is a little bit of a confusion. What is a drive belt? So drive belt is the one which you can see, and there is another one, a timing belt, that you cannot see, and that is responsible for the engine timing. However, on these 2.2s you have a chain, so the timing, the engine timing, is driven or affected or controlled by the chain. Also, I wanted to say that obviously the turbo needs to be checked. So the turbine wheel, if it has any damage, or if it has a play, if it's touching the housing, or if it has any play back and forth or sideways play, a minimal is normal, but it shouldn't touch the housing. So now guys, let me remove the sensor and blow air through it, and we will see if it is blocked, or if it is, how badly the pipe will be blocked. And if it is not, obviously I'm going to pressurize it with the air, make sure like dirt will come out from the pipe, and then I'm going to fit a new exhaust pressure sensor to it. I asked Dan for help. He's going to blow air through that pipe, and it should come out from the EGR cooler. Let's have a look. It is coming out, and also from the injector number 1, but we are going to heat that up with a blowtorch and make sure it is properly clean and it lets the air through it. And then we are going to fit the new exhaust pressure sensor and assemble everything back together with a new 4 injector washers and a new valve cover gasket. So I have assembled the car back together. I'm back from the test drive. Let me switch the camera and show you the diagnostic tool, guys, what I've done on it, what resets I've done, and what are the values. So before I set off, I've done the fuel injector reset and the DPF reset, and let's have a look at the live data. First, let's have a look at the exhaust pressure sensor values. As you can see, it is nicely at 105, and if I press the throttle, it should raise quickly and it should climb back quickly as well. So I'm going to raise the revs to 3000 RPM. Yeah, it's back to its normal numbers or values. One tip, guys, if you want to know or if you're curious, so basically how you know which one is not good or which one is bad, either the sensor or the pipe. So if the values are below 100 or 105 kPa, so 90, 80, 70, 50, that means the sensor is going bad. And how you know if the pipe is blocked? Basically, if you rev the car and it either doesn't really want to go up or very slowly, or doesn't get, so when you rev it, it should even get to 300, 400 kPa. If it does get only to 150 and slowly, and then it's climbing back very slowly, that's meaning the pipe is blocked. Anyways, when we replace the sensor, we make sure that we clean the pipe. So have a look at the DPF values. Those are quite high, and the car has done a DPF region during the test drive. That's why I reset the DPF data, because I wanted to trigger a DPF region, and yet the values are quite high. And let me show you as well something else. The DPF pilot learning values being reset. You can see they are all 0. Let's have a look at the correction factors. Yeah, the correction factors or values are good, so closer to 0 the better. And now let's have a look at the DPF values. So you see that accumulation of the particulate matter is 3.5 gram per liter. So that if that number reaches 6.5 or 7, it triggers another region. And have a look how many miles or kilometers has passed since the last region. It is only 12 kilometers, which is, and it is showing already half full. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the injector reset, the pilot learning reset, which I'm going to show you how to do it because someone asked it in the comment section. So the engine needs to be running on idle. You need to remove the fuse box cover, and you will need a yellow piece of wire. It has to be yellow, otherwise you can mess up the OBD sensor. Okay, jokes aside, you need to jump a pin in the fuse box area, which is this one. You can see the metal in there, so that pin to the negative terminal of the battery or to a ground. So basically one end goes to that pin, and with the other end you just basically tap 5 times quickly to the negative terminal of the battery or to a ground point, which I'm going to do off camera and show you what's gonna happen. I've done that, and as you can see, a coil or a glow plug light appeared on the dashboard, or as my girlfriend would call it, a owl. And I'm not in the car, so it's not occupied. And have a look at the rev counter. Just see what's gonna happen. So the revs are raising and no one is sitting in and no one is touching or pressing the pedals. So it's going to be done a couple times, then the glow plug light will flash 5 times, meaning that the operation was successful, and we are going to recheck the values on the scan tool. If it is not successful, you will get a message on the right dashboard, on the right side of the dashboard, that engine inspection required or vehicle malfunction or something like that. And it's meaning there is something wrong with the car, with the engine. It can be either injectors or something else. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a video on it, what it can be wrong if it doesn't go through, and how to troubleshoot it. I'm going to let the car do its magic, and I'm going to pop in and show you the live data after, if there are any improvement with the values. Pilot learning has been finished, as you can see, as the owl light has gone from the dashboard. Let's have a look at the live data and let's see if the numbers have improved. I can say somewhat the deep differential pressure numbers improved. Let's have a further look. Now, as you can see, the injector pilot learning data points, they have values assigned to them, so they change from 0. Not all, obviously the ECU knows what number it should assign to the data points. Have a look at the correction factors. They didn't change a lot because they were already good, so closer to 0 the better. And I wanted to check the DPF values, which they didn't improve. So what's the conclusion of it? The DPF may need cleaning, and if that doesn't help, which we had a situation here today, you may have already seen that video on the channel. So even after the DPF cleaning, the chemical cleaning, the numbers improved, but not a lot. That has to be monitored. Maybe fuel additives or DPF cleaners needs to be used, or the DPF has to be taken off, send it somewhere, or being sent somewhere where they do a backflush and test it. Maybe just the DPF sensor is acting up. Maybe it needs a software update, which I'm going to try tomorrow. But what I also wanted to say, so back to the origin of the story, as the owner, what he told me, and when we had the chat when he brought the car, so basically he said the local garage wanted to change the turbo, and the owner is a programmer, and he said he likes like a different approach to things when they actually test, not just replace parts. And he asked if they know for sure that will solve his issues, and the garage said like likely or very likely, but they weren't confident. So, and then I believe he went to Mazda. I don't know much about that, but he mentioned that Mazda said something about the injectors that they need to be replaced. The car needs four new injectors, which is absurd to me. Again, I don't know the full story of that, so I don't really want to comment on it, but I can't see how the P2262 fault code is connected to the injectors in that regards. And as you could see from the video, it is either the exhaust pressure sensor or the pipe being blocked underneath the sensor, or the combination. And however, we had cases when it was actually the turbo, so that has to be checked, the turbine wheel as well. And also if it has any play, if anything wrong with the car. So it's not just like that, basically it needs a proper diagnosing. So I hope, guys, this was again somewhat educational, somewhat entertaining, or maybe a bit of both. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and see you soon in the very next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.